Hi, Stephen here. I want to give you a quick public service announcement about social media and venting. I know we all have moments where something happens, we don't feel we're treated right, and need to express all that pent up frustration or annoyance. In the old days, you know what we would have done. We would have gone home and told our family around the supper table, or maybe we would have gone out for coffee and sat down with our friends, and over a cup of coffee in a coffee shop, we'd tell them what a idiot somebody had been and how unfairly we'd been treated. Maybe after a few days, we'd think about it and we'd have a different perspective on it. Maybe things would get sorted out. It was just a misunderstanding and everything would be fine. But see, we live in a different age today because now we don't just talk with family around the supper table. We don't just talk in the office, and we don't just talk with a cup of coffee in a coffee shop. Now we've got this wonderful thing called social media. Tell me, has this ever happened to you? Something happens. You're frustrated, you're annoyed with someone, and you just need to vent. So you pick up your phone, you sit down at your computer, and you write out exactly how you're feeling. And you put send. And in a moment, you start to get likes and reactions, and oftentimes supportive comments from friends who tell you that you have every right to feel the way you did. Maybe they ask you to tell them more about it, and you start to feel better because you're vindicated. Well, there's something I want you to understand about that. Because you see, back when you said it to your family, well, maybe a few of them might talk, but probably not that many. You said it to your friends sitting in the coffee shop. Well, maybe the person at the next table might have overheard you, and you might have become their conversation. Maybe not. But when you sit down at social media and you pound it out and send it out to your friends, what you're actually doing is broadcasting it over a far greater area than you probably really want to. Imagine, if you would, that scenario about the coffee shop. Something's frustrating you, you're meeting a few friends, you're sitting in the food court of a major mall, there's a few thousand people surging around, coming and going, and you're going to take a moment and tell your friends what's really annoying you. Except when it comes time for you to talk, you pull out the megaphone. Your friends across the table, they don't need it to hear you, but this is just the way you communicate. And so you share your angst and frustration to everybody in the mall, to the people who know you well and understand how you're feeling in the context, to the people who sort of know you, to the people who just saw you there, to people who have no idea who you are. Because you see, when we write on social media, that's what we're doing. I don't know about your friends list, but my friends list has close friends, sort of close friends, acquaintances because of one connection or another through work or other things. Probably some people who heard about something I was doing or liked some post that somebody else shared, and they asked to be my friend too, and seemed okay, so I clicked them. Did I really want to tell all of them what was frustrating me in that moment? And what about those who then like what you've shared or comment on it, and now their friends can see that too? Now they're part of the conversation. You see, now what could have turned out to have been a misunderstanding, we've broadcast across the internet. And it's hard to bring that back. You see, there's some wise words that we find in the Bible in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18. It says that if your brother, somebody you're close to, sins against you, they offend you, they upset you with something, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. And if he listens to you, you've gained your brother. But if he does not listen, take one or two others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. And if he refuse to listen to them, well, then take it to the bigger group. In the case, the context here, take it to the church. But see, when somebody upsets you and offends you, and you send it out at that moment on social media, now, even if afterwards you discover that it was a misunderstanding and your friend wants to sort it out and you guys make it right, now you've communicated that initial hurt to 50, 100, 200, 1,500. How many people? If the person who you had the misunderstanding with happens to fall within that friend circle you have, or extended friend circle, and they hear about it or stumble across it on social media, what do you think the odds are that that's really going to get resolved quickly? Because now you've just trashed them in front of a huge circle of people. So as a public service announcement from me to you, maybe the next time something happens that upsets you or offends you, before you broadcast it, go and see if you can work it out. Talk to that person one-on-one. Yeah, it may remove some of the juicy conversation on social media, but don't worry. There'll be enough other stuff to fill in the gap. But you'll have a better relationship for it. Just a thought from me to you. Have a great day.